Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at 3/4 Home. While I was hesitant to pay full price for a game that I knew nothing about, now that it's on sale for around $4, I was more than happy to give it a try. It turns out that 3/4 Home is actually a story genre, or what some people are calling as a walking simulator. More or less, the story begins to unveil itself as you progress through the game with an actual lack of focus on gameplay per se. And as nearly the entire purpose of the game 3/4 Home is figuring out what that story is, I'm not really going to blow it for you, but I will give you some general details. The general storyline is that you're playing as a 20-something who's been forced to move back in with her parents. After all, life happens, and sometimes we have to do stuff we don't want to do. And through the game developer's careful scripting, we know for a fact that this character really didn't want to be moving back in with her parents. In the initial story version of the game, excluding the epilogue, the general gameplay includes holding down the RZ button in order to drive through central Nebraska, as you talk on the phone about life's events and happenings, and digest the general illusions and skirting around certain issues that are troubling not only the main character, but characters in the family itself. With the main gameplay, the word play being used a little bit lightly here, being the selection between 1 and 3 dialogue options. The further you make it into the conversations, the more wealth of background information is exposed, and the more freedom you have to not only select dialogue options relating to certain characters, but even establishing who those characters are, with dialogue and decision trees building into almost infinite possibilities. The further you reach into these dialogue options and explore exactly how deep the rabbit hole goes, the background scenery as well as the ambient music increase their relative drama to match. But again, attempting not to reveal too much of the story because it is very dramatic and very pressing once you actually get into it, I'm going to leave some of the more iconic details out of the review. After you finish the main story, however, if you're buying this on the Switch, the epilogue comes with it as the extended edition, which allows you to continue playing as the main character after the events of the main game have taken place, but retrospectively on those times before. More or less, you're being exposed to a massive what-if scenario. This forces a player to engage with those sensitive, angst-filled questions of what if I had? And as the main character engages with her own what-if scenarios guided by your dialogue selections, you as the player are also forced to confront some angsty truths of reality. And overall, I think that that's one of the most pungent experiences one can actually get out of this game. I'd have to say that my experiences with 3/4 Home were a little mixed at first, but actually sitting down and thinking about it for a couple of hours, I came to a couple of resolutions for myself. The first one being that this game is not forced at all. It really is as deep and artistic as it looks. And the second being that 3/4 Home really deserves some praise, not only for being able to take you out of your own skin and let you experience someone else's life, but to cause you through that experience to look back at your own. And while I wouldn't tout 3/4 Home being a riveting white-knuckle experience, it definitely is enriching. So if you're even remotely into the indie story genres of the walking simulators, you may be wanting to give this one a try. Especially now that it's on sale, it really is worth just a couple bucks to be able to experience life walking in someone else's shoes for a minute. And even though it is a really quick game, there's definitely a bit of replayability. Anyway, that's about it for the review of 3/4 Home on the Switch. So if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or leave a comment to show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with latest content. These videos are coming out all the time, so there's always going to be some new indie to discover. And if you want to support the channel, feel free to check out our Patreon page. But other than that, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.